And welcome to Nancy's Neighborhood, folks. And it's good to be back with you. And I think finally, maybe spring has sprung. But I saw this little weather thing today on Facebook, and you can believe everything. Everything that's on Facebook's true. But said we might get snow. And I'm thinking, I know. I'm thinking, no, we've already had Easter, so it should be okay. I have two sets of guests today, and I'm thrilled to death to have both of them. And the first one, dear friend Tracy Wright from Cleveland State, and I asked her to come on to talk about the gala that's coming up Thursday because I thought, well, this would be a great way to sell tickets, but we don't need to sell tickets.
No, thankfully we do not. We're really excited about that.
I think that's awesome. So let's tell everybody, if they don't have a ticket, what they're going to miss.
Oh, they're going to miss some amazing community leaders from 9 different categories
Right.
being recognized for putting community first. And this is our 3rd annual event, so we're really excited to see how the event has grown over the years.
And it has, and it's wonderful to see these people. And I'll just share, I think I've told you this, but of course, I won in 16 for volunteer, and in 17, Jason Robertson won it said from Athens, but I kept thinking, that name sounds so familiar. And as it happened, when I taught at Inglewood, I taught Jason's aunt and 2 uncles. And so it's kind of like old home week. I mean, they're clear across the room from me, but I had to go over there and see them. So the 2 uncles or the aunt wasn't there, but it was great to see his dad, Roger, who I did not teach because when I went to Inglewood, I taught 2nd grade, and Roger was already in the 5th grade. So, but anyway, it's a great event. Lots of people are there.
There really are. And this year, in our arts category, we have the amazing Connie Gatlin.
Absolutely amazing.
Who, if you live in Bradley County, you can't be aware of arts without knowing who she is.
Exactly.
And then for business category, it's Roger Pickett, Mermaid Mattress.
Absolutely. Another great person.
Yes, and he does. I mean, from giving out free mattresses to tornado victims back in 2011 to I can't think of any event. Last year for Cherry's Jubilee, we needed a mattress for a swing, and he provided it.
He did. He helped us out.
So he's constantly thinking of ways that he can give back to this wonderful community that he lives in. And then for our philanthropy category, we have 2 folks. It's another year. The year you came in, it was you and Don who were both recognized. This year in that category, it is Dr. Rodney and Mrs. Margot Fitzgerald. And I can't think of too many boards they haven't served on.
Absolutely.
Or too many foundations that they haven't sparked and gotten up and going. And then for education this year, it's Carmen Choate, who is an amazing educator out of Meigs County. And if you talk to any Meigs County high school graduate of recent years, they will let you know that she helped make sure that they knew about all the wonderful things they can do post high school.
That's great. And I met her one day, first time I had met her, and she's
Isn't
a
she
wonderful
bubbly?
lady. Yes, she is.
She cares,
Absolutely.
and
yes.
that comes across.
Yes, it does.
So we love Carmen, and we were really excited to see that she was recognized. And this year in your category that you and Mr. Lorton won back in our inaugural year, 2016, is Kevin Bishop. And he's a quiet, unsung hero, if ever there were one.
Absolutely. He's a wonderful guy. Wonderful guy.
And he's an accountant, local accountant. Those of you who know him know that. But what you may not know is he donates tons of his time keeping the books for various nonprofits, running many of their fundraising operations to make sure that everything's in order and no one's going to get themselves hand slapped or worse. So he gives lots and lots of his time to make sure that our nonprofits who really may not be in positions to afford some of those services can do things in an appropriate way.
Right. And he does that so quietly. You do not know he's doing it, but he does. So I know he's been a big help in the past for United Way, and he's just a joy to work with.
He really is. And then for health care this year, it's Dr. Bill Johnson. William Johnson, I should say. Use his formal name. Your
buddy,
friend.
Dr. Bill. Yes.
And of course, he's you can't say enough.
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
whether it's right here in our own community, and then he goes overseas and does some pretty amazing things.
He does.
So whether it's providing health care, providing water systems, he does just some tremendous work to
He really does.
provide care.
He really does.
And then I'm trying to think, nonprofit leadership. Oh, I would be remiss without mentioning, you mentioned a moment ago, United Way, and United Way's CEO, Matt Ryerson
Right.
is the recipient
Great
this
guy.
year.
Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
So many changes have happened at United Way, and they've all been positive. That's not to say we weren't doing a good job before, but Matt's come in with a lot of innovative ideas and a lot of things that for us to do for the community that maybe just a little more progressive.
It's
And
been really
he's super.
fun
Yes.
to see that transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's quite done yet. What do you think?
I don't think he's quite done yet either.
So more to come from United Way, I'm
think so.
sure,
I
but
think
just
so.
a phenomenal leader. And I know I have the privilege of serving on chambers and working with some of our United Ways and in some of the other four counties that Cleveland State
Right.
has as a part of our service area. And Matt Ryerson, when you're talking about United Way, his name comes up in all of those counties. He's well respected, I know, both on regional as well as a state and national level.
National level even, yeah. So which is amazing, I think. So, you know. But now is that all of them?
I think I got them all.
Okay, and then at the end there will be one of those will be chosen as the overall winner.
Yeah, and before we go, I would be remiss if I did not mention that this year, giving Mayor Tom Rowlands, wonderful years of service to our community, we did opt to provide special recognition of him. So who knows? You know, he and Dr. Seymour have a very special relationship.
They do.
So it will be interesting and fun to
It
see
will be.
how they
It
both
will be.
handle that part. But we're really excited that Mayor Rowland gave us permission that we could recognize him at this event, and we felt like so much of what's happened at Cleveland State over our 50-year history, he's had his hands in it.
Exactly.
And been one of our number one cheerleaders. So
Right.
we would be remiss if we didn't take this opportunity knowing this is his final year.
Absolutely, and I think he's been mayor 37 years or
think
something
you're
like that. So
right.
that's over half of the history of Cleveland State. So now let's talk just a minute. We had our 50th anniversary last year, so
Yes.
this is 51.
It is.
And a lot of exciting things are happening at Cleveland State.
my.
So, yeah, so the state has appropriated some funding for us if we do something.
We've got to come up with our 10% match, and it's $25 million that the state will ultimately have to work with. And so $2.5 million is our portion that we must raise. We're well in the midst of trying to come up with those funds. And of course, this year we decided that any money above and beyond our expenses would go towards our capital campaign to help us with that match.
And that's great. And so this year's gala is going to be at the Quentin Lane Gymnasium. But
Yes.
Tracy does a wonderful job, and it doesn't look like a gymnasium when she gets through decorating it. It's really, really nice. And so I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be great fun.
It will, and I'm sorry if you haven't already purchased your tickets. You can go ahead and make plans for next year. It's always either the last week in March or the first week of April.
That's right. And so it's going to be, it starts at 6:30. It'll be a wonderful event. And I think the Cleveland Pops are entertaining.
They are just doing dinner because we want to recognize our recipients and have the program flow. But doing dinner, we thought it might be nice to have some music. And they're providing us with a string quartet.
Oh, how nice. Okay, that will be really awesome.
I think beautiful.
Yeah,
so.
and I think that's nice to have them during the eating of the meal, because most of the time when you're eating, you're trying to, you don't talk with your mouth full, my mother used to say. So you're trying not to converse at your table, and so it's good to just have that nice peaceful sound going on behind you. So
And
I
it'll
think
be
that's
low
great.
enough if you do want to talk without your mouth being full.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome
Thank
to
you,
do
Mother.
that.
Yes. Absolutely. And a lot of other exciting things are happening at Cleveland State, because I know you're going to be on with me next show to talk about another event that's coming up. And then we've got Reconnect. Our nursing school passed all their credentials.
Yes.
So now we're starting, I believe there's going to be a spring class.
A
of
summer
nursing-
class.
Summer class. of
And
nursing.
as well as the fall.
Okay.
And our participation in our information sessions has been phenomenal.
Good.
So it's clear to us that prospective students were waiting for Cleveland State to be able to once again admit. We never closed our program, and I think
Right.
there's a misconception
Right.
out there.
Right.
But we weren't able to take in new classes. So with one session had over 65 individuals in attendance.
Wow.
So that just tells us there are folks out there who were just waiting for us to be able to take in new cohorts. And so we're going to run two, a summer cohort, which we have never done before.
I know, that's
And
going to be
then-
something new and exciting.
Yeah, and then one in the fall. So if you're thinking about nursing, it's not too late. You can contact our chair of our nursing program.
Okay, now we'll reconnect work for those coming into the nursing program.
It
Okay, how
will.
awesome.
So if you're 24 or older, or perhaps you're married or have children and you've always dreamed of being a nurse, the Reconnect Scholarship will take care of your tuition and your fees for you.
How awesome. And then Megatronics is coming up in the fall.
A new honors, Mechatronics Honors, which is really exciting for high school seniors who will be graduating and starting their college careers. The application was due today, actually.
Oh, today. Okay, but there might be room.
Yes, yes.
Might be
Be room. So if you haven't applied, you might quickly watch us and go ahead and submit that application so that you can have consideration. But those students are going to earn a salary. They'll be working 3 days a week at the industry that selects them, and then they'll be taking classes 2 days a week. And at the end of that 2-year period, they graduate with their mechatronics degree, associate's degree, but they also will have established a great connection
Right.
with the local industry, which keeps them home.
That's
and
true.
I know the parents watching, that's a plus.
That's right. That's a big plus.
We don't like
Absolutely a
that
big
brain
plus.
drain, so to keep our kids in our community is a good thing.
And to me that's awesome because it's so many times kids graduate and they leave here, but if we train them for things that we need here in Cleveland Bradley County, and with all the industries we have coming in here, we need.
We really do.
It's amazing. I know Doug Berry at the chamber told me one day if I had the names of 40 welders, he could put them all to work right now.
Which is
So-
another opportunity at Cleveland State. Welding, we offer welding certificates, and those individuals are getting hired, like you were saying, just like that.
Absolutely. And, if I needed another job, I'd go take welding, but I
Should, Nancy.
No,
we could take advantage of the
Well, we could.
Reconnect, you and I, and go back and
I don't
learn
think,
how to weld.
No, I don't think you and I could
they
reconnect.
They might not like that.
I think we don't qualify to reconnect, but anyway.
Something about you and I with a welder.
That is true.
That may not be a good
That's very
combination.
true. And even they probably wouldn't put us in the same class. They'd say,
No,
"You
they
go over there
know."
and you go over there. That's exactly right. Tracy, it's been great having you on today, and I look forward to you coming on. We're going to talk about the Trail of Tears.
We are.
With Deb. So that'll be exciting for the next show. And I'm excited about Thursday night.
Well, Nancy, Cleveland State really appreciates your strong support, and you always are finding ways to help keep us out in the news, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you, because I think they are a tremendous asset to Cleveland. I think we're so fortunate to have that they landed here instead of some other places in the 5-county area. They could have landed, but they landed in Cleveland. And I just think we need to be very supportive of them and rah-rah every time we get a chance. So, Tracy, thank you so much for being on with me today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Nancy.
Any last-minute thing you'd like to say?
No, just if you have questions, just visit our website, which is clevelandstatecc.edu.
Right, clevelandstatecc.edu. And be sure you go to that website. I checked it out the other day, and I was amazed. It's the first time I've been, because usually I text Tracy or somebody else over there and say, hey, here's my question. But now I feel like I know what's going on because I went to the website. So
Great.
clevelandstatecc.edu. Folks, don't go away. I'm going to be right back with an opportunity that this has been something that's near and dear to me, as having been married to a military person, and my whole family's been military, and this is something that we just don't know enough about. And I have two gentlemen that are going to talk to us about this, so don't go away. We'll be right back. But now, I always say, watch our commercials, support our sponsors, because they pay our bills, and we'll be right back, so don't go away.